Hello and welcome to Pitt State Esports, and we have Rocket League now for you guys. Just saw Valorant, Pitt State versus Washburn. Pitt State did end up losing 2-0 whenever it comes to maps. So a little bit of a tough loss there for the Gorillas, but Washburn really, doing a number there. They performed very well. Now we've got Pitt State versus Emporia State in Rocket League. We saw a lot from this MCEC team, a lot from the NACE team as well, some overlapping players here and there. But this MCEC team, the last time we saw them was a little bit rusty, I will say, but they seemed like they could kind of keep up with the speed of play of some higher level players. They are kind of on that like champ 1-2 range. So whenever it comes to those higher level games, it seems to be a little bit difficult. But Easton, you were right there alongside me. What do you have to say about this Pitt State Rocket League team?
Yeah, the Pitt State Rocket League team has been usually pretty consistent every time they play. Just minor little problems they usually have tend to be like rotating a little bit, miscommunication, just small miscommunications, though not really any big mishaps. But I think if they play solid, are communicating well, and they have that flow going, they could do really well tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned miscoms and stuff like that. I think the two big highlight points that we had for Pitt State in the past was demos and bumps, and I think those two things, just keeping the odds even on the field, or maybe even putting yourself in an advantage, are a huge difference. Getting bumped out of the play, not something you want to do. Or even double commits, they make it to where it's going to be a 1v2 after a 50, then a 2v2. So making sure you're communicating, who's going for what. Also communicating, hey, there's demo coming, or being just aware of those demos is key. But we're going to go ahead and get into game one here on Pitt State Esports. So you've got Running Trojan, X-Bot, and KC Stunner against Gemizon Gaming, Kolbs, and Buke. I will say Kolbs did see some action on that NACE lineup, I believe, earlier on in the season. That NACE lineup consisting of, I believe it was Frequently Jones, and alongside North and Logan, as Kolbs gets the first goal. Talking about him and some highlights. Give me Zama, nice 50 up top, off the ceiling, and Kolbs reads his own touch off the wall perfectly.
Yeah, we saw Kolbs in one of the NACE games, and I think he played really well with the aggressive approach, and we just saw it here. He's already going another, and they traded off already with Stunner getting one.
Yeah, Kolbs, I think honestly, if I had to say what may have went wrong there, Kolbs, he looked like he was playing up on that kickoff, but just off to the left, maybe having full trust in your teammates, which, hey, props to you. But I think you got to play it just a little more safe if you're going to be what's called cheating on a kickoff, which is where you play up and anticipate a dead ball, or just try to get an early touch and score the goal, which ended up being what KC Stunner did to score the first goal for Emporia State. A little bit of a scuffle on that orange side as KC Stunner sends it back into midfield. Gimme with a nice settle, gets it past one. Let's see if he can get another. Pinches it off the wall. Now Trojan with the clear. Gimme just barely missing it, and it goes top right in the 90 for Running Trojan for the second goal of the game.
Just couldn't get his car up. Unfortunately, it looks like he actually kind of did touch it there, maybe a little redirect or something, but it just wasn't enough. Kind of just glided right off his car. Yeah,
just unfortunate, a little bit off. I think he would have been there. It just was a little bit, he was just a little off to the left. But hey, tough save. It was really high. But 1-2 is the score.
Nice.
Buke with a nice double touch there. Let's take another look. What a shot. Oh, triple.
Yeah.
Nice shot there from Buke in the Octane. Mid-State ties it up 2-2. Now Buke back on the offensive. See what he can make happen. Stunner with a good 50. Pitches it over to the other wall. But MCU had an opportunity there to maybe make a counter push. Gimme kind of a little discombobulated there at midfield. Stunner's back to save. Gets it past one. Kolbs is there. Gets a bump. And now Trojan sends it. Buke with the save. Buke clears. Now on the offensive. Taps it up. Kolbs was there, but now it'll be Gimme. Gimme to Kolbs. Kolbs to Buke. Buke gets it past. And now making a push. In reverse is Trojan, and Trojan makes a great save. Racking it up, put it in reverse Terry. Kolbs now on the offensive. Gimme over to Buke, back to Gimme with the shot off the post. Just barely misses, and the 50 will go in favor of Emporia. AC Stunner setting it up. Oh, and it's gonna sit in front of the net. Trojan did not expect the whiff. Call it a fake, if you will. Buke now trying to set up his teammates. And Gimme just a little slow on the draw. Stunner gets bumped. Trojan now trying to clear. Gimme not able to connect with that redirect. Buke now taps it in front of the net. Oh no, the double commit from Gimme and Buke. Gets it past two. And
Nice
Kolbs
save.
with a good save. Buke, nice push. Could have got the bump there, but does not. Stunner now. Back on the offensive with 1:30 left. A good pass.
Oh.
Nice save there from Pitt State. I believe it was Buke with the save. And now Gimme sets it up for the team. Nobody there. Buke back to the center, and it'll be cleared away. Now it's Emporia State on the offensive. Gimme goes for the squishy save just off the mark. 50 in the corner between Trojan and Kolbs. Kolbs gets the best of it. Just missing that one. And now Buke to clear. Kolbs with a shot. It's on net and he scores. 3-2's the score now as Pitt State takes the lead.
They were playing well defensively. They got a little bit caught off guard, but they managed to recover with a couple of those last-second saves from Pitt State, and eventually it led to one of their goals. So,
Well, 3-2. Emporia State looking for a quick attack here. That's a demo. Oh, but nobody there in time. Xbot setting up his team perfectly. Maybe for another. Just couldn't get the chemistry going. Kolbs now trying to clear. Will set up Gimme in the mid. Gimme with a nice shot. Great pass. But it'll be cleared away. Is Buke there? He is. Trojan now with the final push of the game. Clock's down to 0 and Pitt State taking game 1 1-0. What a victory for them. Wow, and you look at this scoreboard here. The demos even in favor of Emporia State. We talked about how Pitt State needs to avoid them, but only 2, keeping it down to a minimum. And we saw the 1. Emporia State just not able to capitalize on that opportunity after the demo. Just a bum deal, but hey, they kept it close. Emporia, I think, looks like a strong team. They could very well pull this off here in the next 3 games.
yeah, I mean, you look at that, and you saw Pitt State had a little bit more touches than Emporia, and they were meaningful touches. If we saw through the gameplay. A lot of them were, centers to the ball or going up the wall to, create passing opportunities and shooting opportunities. So I think Pitt State did that pretty well. And we saw Buke with some great saves. He had 4 of those saves out of the 5 for Pitt State, while Emporia had about, they were spread out with saves. One had 2, and then the other 2 had 1 save.
Yeah, not to mention the great shot from Buke. Just setting it, putting it off the wall twice, triple touch, great shot. And we saw another great one from Kolbs earlier on, and then Gemi as well. Playing a great role, just able to be there for the passes. Pitt State, they had a couple of mistakes there, but hey, they kept it clean overall as we go ahead and head into game 2, Pitt State versus Emporia State. We're going to go ahead and take a break first before game 2, and we'll be right back on Pitt State Esports. The wall, Gemi trying to connect, won't go, and it'll be Stunner to clear. Kolbs, nice read off the wall. Buke's up, gets a nice touch to follow it, sets up his team. Is anybody there? Gemi, no good, but Kolbs with the follow-up. Good job, Pitt State.
Yeah, Buke with that great pass. Perfect center, honestly. Gemi getting that perfect touch to hit down to Kolbs. It's just great passing plays all around from Pitt State.
Yeah, not to mention, just off that top crossbar, Gemi, I don't know if he was necessarily shooting it or not, but regardless, he put it close, made a couple of the defenders commit, and then Kolbs, a great open shot, places it perfectly, gets the lead-taking goal. 4:13 left. Buke with a nice redirect over there on the blue side. Goes for a clear, sends it downfield. Kolbs! Oh, that would have been amazing. Just barely off the mark. And Buke gets the shot. Oh, lower 90, just off the mark again. Evil posts here in game 2. Kolbs, could he get the read? Oh, Pitt State kind of peaking right now. They've got some nice plays drawn up. Very exciting gameplay here on the offensive. And now back to defense as Kolbs needs to get it cleared. And Emporia State playing way too passive for being down by a goal. They have got to step it up on the offensive, and Buke gets past all 3. What a shot.
I think they should have pressed that ball a little bit earlier there. Off that bounce, probably. Kolbs still having control of that ball, even with that touch coming from one of the Emporia State players. I mean, it just couldn't help them out.
Yeah, and I think Emporia, they had that clear, and then Kolbs took it with so much space into the corner, just able to perfectly manipulate that ball and get it all the way to midfield to where the rest of his team could take over and help get it across for the clear. Emporia needs to press up on offense. Look, they're just backing off. They've got to press up. 2-0 is the score. Kolbs getting it downfield. Buke with the shot. Kolbs goes for a redirect, but Stunner will clear it away. We'll see what Emporia can draw up here. Looks like they're going a little more offensive. Buke with a nice redirect. Trojan hits it back into the corner. Stunner is there, but both Kolbs and Gemi. Kolbs settles it for Gemi. Great pass. Nice communication between those two. Duke into the corner, maybe going for a little double touch redirect. Looked like he may have just accidentally wave dashed in his car. Just couldn't quite get off the ground, but now Xbox to clear. Centers it up, nobody home. Both players from Emporia State playing back, and that leaves it wide open for Pitt State to take another goal. Wow.
Especially, you know, we see, like, especially when they're playing back, but they're playing by the boost and not in the net. Or at least one should be at midfield, one should be in net if they're going to play kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of have to go in this rule of thirds, but nobody was even midfield. They had nobody to capitalize on the set. So essentially, when they go on offense, they're just playing 1v3, and they have two people back guarding net. And I mean, no offense, but obviously the two people guarding net isn't really helping that much. You've got to press up here. Gimme got a nice touch there. Now it'll be Trojan. You see that again, just nobody there to help, and it was just kind of that 1v3 situation. And the shot from Buke. I mean, kind of a beatdown here for Pitt State. They're taking advantage of this, like, slow reaction defense from Emporia State.
Yeah, Pitt State definitely just shutting down Emporia State. At that point, they weren't even, I think they're like electing to, you know, kind of rotate in straight lines is what it looks like, because they were all in a line together on that midfield.
Yeah, and, you know, I think another thing, I think another thing is just keeping two people up pressing the ball. I don't think you need two people all the way back. Just keep one, if at all, for a safety net. And then, you know, if it gets past him, it gets past him. You know, whatever. But you've got to have two people to press up on that offense, or you're just going to be 1v3ing the entire time. And that's just near impossible. Good set there, but blocked by Buke. Sent away the other side by Gimme. And Kolb's now with the control. Trojan making a nice aggressive push. Buke was there with the reaction. Trojan almost getting Emporia State their first goal, maybe starting some momentum there. As we see, they start to play a little more aggressive here. Wow, Kolb's going for the save. Almost had it too, but just barely taps it into the net. KC. Demi just a little off the read on that sidewall corner. Sends it back to the net of the blue.
I mean, Pitt State, again, they're just playing, like you said, to the weaknesses of Emporia State, and they're really focusing on that. Oh my gosh! What a crazy, like, double touch. Was that a double touch?
Yes.
Off the backboard.
What a double touch from Kolb. Oh my goodness. That is dirty. Come on, man. It's 4-1. You don't got to do him like that. 47 seconds left. Pitt State in the lead by 4. And Demi with the redirect. Nobody there to shoot for Emporia. Buke with a nice touch there. Another set there. Top right 90. Buke brings the score to 6.
I mean, he had such an impressive shot at the beginning, and it made it an awkward save for Emporia State there too. Even with 3 back, the first man committing to that, and again he had a bad touch on that ball, and Buke took advantage of that and banged it into the upper corner.
Kolb's. Wow, just another kickoff goal, and that is officially a Brazil. Unfortunate for Emporia State here in game 2. And I think at this point you're like, hey, let's get out of this one. Head to game 3. Clear minds, you know. Let's just hit the reset button here. This was, hey, in their minds, hey, call it a fluke. But for Pitt State, you're like, hey, we got this momentum. Let's just keep it rolling. Dig a hole here. 7-1, 15 seconds left. Like Pitt State's playing just a little more passive, maybe trying to stall, get the timeout. Demi with a nice touch. It'll be Trojan over to the side. And a little miscommunication there between two Emporia State players. Demi will keep it up. Kolb's to keep it up. Demi, could he have it? Oh, won't go. Emporia State keeping it alive. Trojan with a nice touch. Oh, Gimme blocks it. Combs looked like he had the shot. Oh, but Combs blocks it that time. I think that may have been intentional. Pittsburgh State wins game 2 and brings the series score 2-0. Let's go ahead and look at some of these stats. Buke with 4. Combs with a hat trick of his own. And Casey Stunner with the only goal. And honestly, hitting that one from midfield, you could have just called that a mistake on the Pitt State end. Just a bummer game for Emporia State.
I mean, Buke, an absolute all-star, almost having 1,000 points. That is honestly crazy in threes alone. You know, he's got 4 saves and 4 goals and 7 shots. He was just keeping up that pressure too. And you look at these touches. Stummer having 46 touches, but Pitt State just across the board having a lot more touches than Emporia.
Yeah, it was kind of just like Emporia couldn't find any sort of groove there on Pitt State. They just kind of had the role. They were finding all the openings and attacking them. It looked like Pitt State just saw the openings from game 1 and said, hey, we're just going to capitalize on these. Every mistake Emporia State makes, make them pay. But we're going to go ahead and take a break here before game 3 scores 2-0. We'll see you right back after this break on Pitt State Esports. It's Gemi to send it away to the orange side, and Stunner will go ahead and settle. Combs starts the attack. It gets bumped down, and Combs! Nice read off his own touch. Gets the first goal in just under a minute.
So fast and right off the bat, I mean, yes, Emporia State's just got to be like thinking, man, let's just take that goal out of our minds and just focus on getting this next one and keeping that defense up.
You know, I like that thought process, but it gets to a point where it's like, how much can you take out of your mind? It's like, you can ignore the one goal, you can ignore the 7-1, but at some point, you've got to lock in. You've got to get a goal of your own. You've got to start some momentum here. And Pitt State assertive with some offensive pressure here. Holmes with a nice touch. Could Gemi capitalize? No good.
You trying to bring it back to the other side.
Stunner will send it away to the blue. Buke now for the clear. Stunner keeping some good pressure to follow, just barely off the mark. That was X-Bot, I believe. Stunner now back with the ball on the orange side. And Combs will take it up the side. Centering it up for Gemi. Nice pass. Gemi. Oh, no. Combs will just take it and correct it. Gemi with a nice touch downfield. And it looks like Pitt State just kind of playing a little more passive, not trying to give up that lead. Stunner with a good flick. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Great shot from Stunner there.
Yeah, Stunner with, I mean, calculating.
Yeah.
What else is there to say? That Buke, or I think it was Colbs, just redirecting that into their own net.
He's gonna make up for it here.
Yeah, here, well, just barely off. That's a good redirect from Xbot. And now Colbs with some control, centering it up for Gemi. And
Spot taking it up the field and it gets cleared by Buke. Buke looking for more and he doesn't get it. As Stunner is just hitting this ball, hammering this ball. Colbs gets demoed.
it's a downfield in the process, though, as Xbot will now be in the goal.
And Gimme gets a goal!
Gemi! What a shot there. Xbot just barely off the mark in that corner.
Great
Taps
pass
it
from
over
Buke.
to Buke, and Buke dots up Gemi midfield.
Two 2-1 for Pitt State University.
Emporia State's got to get something going in the back half now of game 3. Colbs sets up Buke. Couldn't get the dunk. Oh, just off the crossbar. Would have been a nasty shot, as if we haven't seen a couple of those already. Gemi with a nice little cutoff there midfield allows Colbs and Buke to rotate. Colbs on the side wall will send it mid for his teammates, but Stunner reads it perfectly. Now Gemi trying to mix it up a little bit, sends it mid to Colbs. Colbs gets the chip. Gemi with the redirect, no good. Colbs back into the corner. Buke taps it up. Colbs to center. Buke shot, no good. Gemi keeps the pressure up. Colbs with a nice touch. Off the crossbar. Gemi's there! Bottom 90! What a shot!
Gimme on fire, 2 in a row. Crazy.
Gemi and Gemi getting some connections with both teammates now. Buke had the pass on the earlier goal, and now Colbs with just under 2 minutes left. Could Emporia State find their way back? I mean, the last 2 goals, they have been own goals from Pitt State, so not a lot of good looks from Emporia in these last 2 games. But could they start the momentum now? A nice pass, no good, broken up by Gemi, and Buke's down, or Colbs is downfield, excuse me. Can't get the other touch. Gemi will set it up mid. Buke, he's there. The touch, no good, off the backboard. And now Colbs into the corner. It'll get touched down. Trojan misses. And back into the orange corner is Buke. Stunner tries to break up that play. Colbs could he get the double touch? Oh, gets the flip reset. Over to Gemi off the crossbar and just off the mark. Buke cuts it off midfield and stops the counter push. Colbs, no way. Oh! Colbs with a nice shot there. Gets his second of the game. Look at that.
You know, I talk about this a lot, but you know, air control in this game is very important, and Pitt State is just dominating in the air, keeping that ball up in the air and having this great sense of air dribbling and passing in the air. It's great for Pitt State so far.
As you say that, you know, Buke takes one all the way downfield. It looks like Emporia State can't, like, it's almost as if they can't contest it when Pitt State has it in the air, or at least it's just very difficult for them to. As we see Colbs, could he do it again? Oh, just barely misses. Not a nice redirect from the Emporia State defense. Man, this guy, he's just trying to rack up the clips here. Back into the orange corner, Gemi with the set. Buke, he's there, still trying to get his first goal of the game, and Colbs! He's always there.
Is that 3 in a row now?
That's a hat trick, not 3 in a row, but it is a hat trick for Colbs. He may have stole that one from Gemi, but Gemi does get the assist, and it looks like that will be the end of game 3. Wow. What a game. Pitt State, an assertive victory in those last two games.
Emporia State having 0 shots that whole game.
Yeah,
Just shut down.
well, with that, the one goal being an own goal from midfield, I mean, they just, I don't think outside of that time and just maybe a couple of others, I don't think they had a ton of clears even. I mean, past midfield, it was tough. Those rotates from Pitt State were near flawless towards the back half of that game. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Definitely. I mean, Pitt State, again, like I was saying, the air control and how many touches they were getting. We saw a lot of great defensive plays from Buke and putting the ball forward into a position where his team could get it like all the time. It was great communication and great teamwork and great passing. A lot of great solo plays too.
Yeah, talk about solo plays. Kolbs, I think, deserves MVP of that last game. You know, Gimme had the 2 goals, but Kolbs, dare I say, peaking. This guy was popping off, and there were a couple of those in there where I was like, those should have gone in over some of the other goals that he made. But hey, I mean, great game from both sides. You know, Emporia, they had the fight in the first game, but once Pitt State got hot, they stayed warm. So that will conclude our broadcast here on Pitt State Esports. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your viewership, and we hope to see you next time. So stay tuned as Pitt State will continue.